Welcome, everybody. We're back. The Your Little Castle Show. We also like to give a shout out to some of our sponsors. We got Gentes Roofing, a roof for every home. GentesRoofing.com, 573-680-8399. That's your cell phone number.
It is.
Mr. Gentes right here, Brandon, in studio, because we like to help people take care of their roof so that they can protect their house, which is important. And many times in that house, they have nice furniture. Got to protect the house, the roof. So if you happen to want nice furniture, go to Carroll House. I just saw Brooke last night, private birthday party. We're all friends. And he was there hanging out. We were hanging out. We don't talk a lot of business while we're at these events. Sometimes I do, but some of my guys are like, stop talking business, cowboy. We want to relax. I'm like, man, I want to help change the world. These businesses help people. But Brooke is great, and Amy, his sister there, because you like nice things. Where do you like nice things, Brandon?
Why do I like nice things?
Where do you like nice things?
Where do I
You can
like
read it right
nice
there.
things?
Right there, that bottom line right there, what it says. Where do you want these nice things? In
Your home.
your home. Or your little castle.
Or your castle.
See what I did there? Okay. So I set him up for that. I didn't prep that.
Well, and then your TVs all come together. I'm like,
which part? Okay.
probably, maybe if I put these on.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
There you go. How's that?
Now can you read that better? Okay.
There it is.
In your little castle that you hopefully have a dynamite roof over, and if you don't, call my buddy Brandon here. He will help you to make sure you have something to protect that house known as a roof. So there we are. Back to the show. 5% off for new roofs. So we talk about it, I mentioned on there as a side note. You got a special that you offer, 5% for new roofs. That's
We
good.
usually do that in like early season. I know that a lot of people are getting a lot of roof damage. A lot of stuff's going on because of Midwest storms. And usually about this time of year. So usually we run some kind of promotion, or we're going to start running promotions about this time of year just because of all the roof damage and stuff. So we have 5% off right now on any new roof, off and on.
People are like 5%. I'm like, yeah, on a roof. Like a roof is like a $30,000 deal sometimes, right?
Sure. On a $10,000 roof, I mean, you save $500.
Yeah. So take it and make your car payment next month at least. Maybe not your mortgage payment if it's a $30,000 roof. Good discount there. Appreciate that. Helping the community. That's the kind of people we want on our show here. We finished off the last show. If you missed the first show, it airs this Thursday and then Friday. And then we've got our kids' boxing video. It's finally got produced. We had a lot of extra work went into that one. But if you're a big fan of kids, which most of us on this little planet, you probably were a kid at one point in your life, believe it or not. Maybe forgot about that time in your life. But the kids need help, need support. And so boxing and Calvin and Calvin and Dr. Jones and Paul Carlo. I saw Paul Carlo down at the Cardinal game last night or yesterday for the home opener. Boxing, sports, the great guys that like help the community. You've got a couple of organizations you do really support. Let's throw that in real quick right here. Who are your favorite charities? You mentioned that.
We've done some sponsorships, golf tournaments. One was for First Choice Employment. They help individuals who have disabilities find job placements, help them get employed, help them find a place to work. That's a great charity, First Choice Employment. A Joyful Noise. So we help put on free Christian rock concerts, which is really cool. So a lot of the bands that I've got to meet, had a pleasure meeting was Disciple, Spoken. This year, Joyful Noise is going to have 7 Day Slumber. So that's going to be cool. It's going to be right there in Jeff City. It's going to be a free concert. So we sponsor those free Christian concerts. It's always great to get the news out about God just through music. So we get to do that kind of stuff too. And of course, I get to go there and rock out with everybody. And I think that's really cool too. So but that's a couple things we do. And then we're looking at more sponsorships this year as well to try to local outreaches and stuff as well. We really want to get involved with that.
Okay, because I was trying to pull up, and I closed all my windows, but I can get my text messages on my computer. I'm a nerd. I can show you how to do that. Did you send me that little? There was some kind of a brief you had from your wife about
I think
that.
my wife sent me something. Yeah, like First Choice Employment. It was a golf tournament that we sponsored last year.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, cool. Take note of those organizations, everybody, because the leaders in our community generally do like to help the charities and organizations in our community, because that makes the whole world go around. My mom said, Carter, stop. I'm going to look in the camera when I say this. My mom said, Carter, I love the fact that you love helping charities. But if you really want to help people, help the businesses, because the businesses hire the employees, and the businesses hire the employees, and the businesses themselves give a lot of money to the charities. I'm like, my mom is a business expert, and she's a teacher at Afton High School teaching drama. So, hey, but she understands how business works, and that's why they named the building after her, and John Goodman flew in for that. And all fun stuff. But they did a 60th anniversary. She's on the front page of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I brag about my mom a little bit because I try to encourage other people to take the chance and be a leader and help people and don't worry about making tens of millions of dollars, because my mom has not made tens of millions of dollars, or else I would not be sitting here. I would be on vacation somewhere. But she wanted me to earn a living too, because that's how you really enjoy life and help other people.
Sure.
Thanks for sharing that with us. All right, Brandon. So I want to jump back before we get into more of this. The one mistake we're going to talk about. What's the one mistake? But I see the green T-shirt over here, everybody. I said we left it off to the side over here. We forgot to but make sure you hold that up. Talk about what is this shirt? Where does this come from?
My uncle brought this to me. He's like, I think you'd really like to have this. This is an old Gentes roofing shirt from the 80s. This is the original Gentes roofing that my great-grandfather, what camera? Let's see.
There you go. I'll put it straight.
Yeah, it's the Gentes roofing. There's the old one. It's got the cursive Gentes, the tanker roofing, and then of course the old shield that we use a shield as well. But there you go. So yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought I'd bring it in. It's a little small for me.
I'll say, can I wear that?
Probably not. But yeah, so this is an old. It's stood the test of time, and here it is. So.
Yeah, because the good material back then, the moths didn't eat that material or whatever happened. But that thing's not new. It's at least a 30-year-old.
Man, in 80s.
80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
80s, back when the Cardinals were 82 World Series champs. Yours truly, that's the ring I got right there, 82, everybody. Here, hold that one up. 82 right there. 6'11", and then 67. That's where my dad went to heaven. His friend said, Carter, get these rings for your son, the Cardinal Cowboy, because he wears those rings. We all think it's fun. And then my dad passed, and they said, these are from your dad. So I wear that ring there. So family, we talked about the family background, and Gentes, fourth-generation roofer you are.
I'm a fourth-generation roofer.
Keeping it in the family. There we go. And then I got put in the Semi-Pro Baseball Hall of Fame. That was after my coma. So we all overcome hurdles in life. So take note on what Brandon's going to share us a lot more information here about how he's made it happen. Decided to make a career shift. Stayed in the same space, but a different way of helping people. Going back to the old school and starting your company, Gentes, a year ago, and making it happen. Cool. All right. What is the mistake? I mean, I can only imagine, gosh, you don't want to make a mistake with a roof.
No.
Or any part of your house for that matter. But the roof, I mean, like if I have to pick, like if you mess up my carpet, all right, that would not be good.
Sure.
But it's not going to like cause major problems if I don't have the right carpet. But if I don't have the right roof, something goes wrong on my roof.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Bringing a lot bigger problems that are going to come flowing my way.
Right.
Literally, like the water coming through the house to cause problems. What's the biggest mistake people make?
Oh, well, when it pertains to like installing roofs, a lot of it's like improper nailing of flashings, not putting the proper product in the right places where it's supposed to be, that prevents eye stamming, stuff like that. Just not using the product correctly the way it's supposed to be used, improper nailing, stuff like that is some of the biggest ones. But outside of the roofs, but still very much pertains to roofs, is because, we live in the Midwest. We have a ton of storm damage. It's all the time, tornadoes, hail, and all wind, all that stuff. A lot of insurance claims are filed. One of the biggest mistakes that homeowners do is they just, oh man, I got a couple of shingles pulled off. Oh man, I got to call my insurance company right away, and I'm going to file a claim. Well, that's not necessarily a great thing to do, and the reason is that once you make that call and you start that process, it's a nick against your insurance, and it's not good. So the best thing to do is call a licensed, certified roofer like us and have them come out and inspect it. Make sure that get their professional opinion as far as if you should file a claim. A lot of times people do it, and then an adjuster comes out and they're like, this is enough. I mean, your deductible is more than what we can even pay out on this, and now you've got a nick against your insurance. It's just not good. Another thing, too, is understanding how the insurance works. And once you get into it, understand what, and I won't go into it too much. I know we only have a certain amount of time, but like understanding actual cash value, depreciation, recoverable cash value, how the payouts work. A lot of people think that I'll just take my lowest bidder, which is, we're very competitive in our costs, but you don't always go with the lowest bidder that works out of one truck, and just because you never know, and they're not licensed and they're not insured. It's just not a good look, but people need to understand how the payouts work. So it's so important. I'm not going to get into it too much, but research ACV, RCV, depreciation, how all that works, and how the end of it goes. You really want that when you're filing claims. It's very important to know.
Take note on all of that one there. That was one giant take note. I mean, how often is it the case, and I hate to do this, my dad would say fly by night.
Oh, yeah.
What is a fly by night operation?
Fly by night, storm chasers, those are the guys that, they come in, They'll knock on doors all over the place. Hey, I know you guys got hail damage. I could fix that for you. You know, that's your fly-by-night. The worst thing about a lot of fly-by-night guys, they'll fix it and they'll just disappear and you'll never see them again. So if you have any issues, you don't know how to get a hold of them. You don't know how to call them. You don't. What am I going to do? Man, this whole half of my side is messed up. I got water in my house, and you know, Joe Smo isn't picking up his phone. You don't know where he went. So that's those fly-by-night guys are. You gotta watch out.
You just reminded me one I haven't shared, but I got hit by a fly-by-night. He's probably a nice guy. I don't remember his name, and it wasn't a big deal, thank goodness. And I was just like, the risk here is low. But you have those above your garage. You got the little air vent thing, but they make it decorative, and it looks. It's got
gable vent.
Gable vent. That's what it was. See the technical term here, but the gable vent, and the paint had finally. And my house is 20 years old, and the paint had been coming off. A guy goes, for $300, I'll paint this one and that one. And I'm like, hey, I don't have to get up there with my ladder, and I could do this, and I could probably spend $30 on paint, and it'd be done. 4 years later, it's all crumbling off again.
It's coming off.
Because he didn't use any good equipment. I would have tossed him another extra $8 to buy the higher premium, bigger. Now, like, we didn't need a gallon, we needed a quart, right? Is that the sizes?
Right, yeah.
And then, so there was a fly-by-night. He didn't literally fly by night, but he flew by darkness from underneath the night of mine, not understanding that if he'd just used some better paint, we probably would have been better off, because paint's supposed to last more than 4 or 5 years.
And like you said, his warranty lasted about as long as his tail lights. You could see his tail lights
So,
when he's driving away.
hey, if you remember working on the Cardinal Cowboy's house not 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but now I just left it. I'm like, it was only like 5 or 6, 7 years ago. And I'm like, it fell apart 3 years later. I'm like, roof, much bigger issue. Don't do that on your roof.
No, absolutely
And
not.
it could also be the fact that they come in, they do their little patchwork. You're not standing over on top of the roof looking at what they did. They hacked it together. The leak stopped. They didn't really fix it.
Just long enough for them to
Just
get out
long
of
for
there.
them to get out of town.
That's right. Oh my gosh, we see it a lot of times. We go back behind guys like that, and we just sometimes I get up on their roof and I'm just like, man, what were they thinking? Why'd they do it this way? This is wild. And I mean, I feel so bad for the homeowners sometimes and people that are going to take advantage. So don't let that happen to you. Don't let that happen to you.
There it is. Big note there on that one. That's one of my favorite questions. Maybe we should move that up earlier, but it is early in the show too. What is the one mistake consumers make? Tell me the time though, as you get into this. Now you've saved a lot of people hassle from getting taken. Can you give me a specific example of any time in your past, even if it was working for the big guys, where you really just helped somebody and you knew they were in a tough situation and they're going, you can just tell they didn't know what to do probably. They're like, I don't know what's going on here. I got this problem. They're looking at their roof caved in or whatever. You got a couple examples of that? Where
we've helped people. I don't know. We've helped people as far as there's certain policies that are written on insurance scopes that maybe they'll have an ACV policy versus an RCV policy.
And what does that mean? You said that earlier.
So ACV is like
I've never heard that
like
one.
an actual cash value of what the roof is worth in its current condition versus
You
RCV.
say cash value, I'm thinking insurance.
Yeah, cost value,
Okay.
what it's worth in its current condition. RCV
Okay,
is
so you
recoverable.
depreciate. Okay.
Yeah, and then so the difference in cost between your ACV and RCV is your depreciation. That's what's between
Gotcha.
the two. So some people have an ACV policy, so the adjuster will come out and say, hey,
Actual value
of the roof,
Okay.
what they determine it's worth in its current state.
Okay.
And they'll
Versus
come out
an RCV, which is the
RCV, which is the recoverable cash value. So it's a
Not the whole
replacement.
thing. It's 10 years old.
Replacement cost value.
replacement.
Yeah.
But they're not going to pay for the whole roof. It's depreciated. They're taking $2,000.
And they're only going to pay whatever they say that value is. So
make that
sometimes,
difference. How many people we've had on? We didn't talk about that.
Yeah. So some people
make sure you got that in your policy.
Yeah, absolutely. When you set up
For
an
your
insurance policy, make sure you have an RCV policy and not an ACV. It might cost a little more, but it's worth it in the long run. Absolutely worth it. So we've helped people in the past. We've gotten in an ACV. They have an ACV policy and they don't quite cover it. We've helped people in the past where we've been able to work a way where we can help them out a little bit as far as coming down on cost. We usually do a couple roofs a year. We can't do it all the time, so we've helped people in that way. We had a tornado come through Jeff City too, and we took all of our crews and stuff. And this is back with my other company, BG. We went for
Your company.
Yeah. We went in and we cleared a bunch of brush and stuff. We had a bunch of guys with chainsaws go out there and really help out with stuff and did it under my workman's comp and your liability. But we didn't charge anything for it when the tornado hit Jeff City. So we do stuff like that too. We've helped out quite a bit in a lot of areas where we can. A lot of times too, we'll be doing a roof and we'll see a couple houses with fascia metal blown off or something from the storms, and I might have one guy say, hey, go see if they've got that fascia metal and put that back up for that lady over there or something. And we don't charge her, and sometimes we'll do stuff for that too. Anyway, anything we can do to help out the local community and under that.
Yeah, that's just kind of a good karma thing. It also comes down to a matter of, do I want to even handle the billing to send a $75
Yeah.
bill? It's like just
Gosh, we have so much going on. It's easier just to go take care of somebody.
and you'll get paid back for that more than you ever
And really, honestly, when you do good things like that for people, instead of charging them $75, it is worth so much for them to go tell their family and go tell their friends and be like, hey, these guys are awesome. They just came over, they did it for us. And we do that all the time. If it's small enough, a lot of times we'll just knock out little things for people just to kind of
the law of reciprocity is something like that, I think they call it. But it's bottom line, if you help other people, things tend to go your way. It's like a logical thing. People don't explain this. I'm telling you right now, I had to learn this the hard way. I'm glad my parents kind of drilled this into me, but I've seen a lot of people, apparently they didn't learn this. And it is, help other people, things go your way. Why is that? Because the people you helped will then tell other people. And then the other people they tell say, hey, you can trust that person. And that's kind of the philosophy you're talking about there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Or the golden rule. Right?
The golden rule.
Yeah, the golden rule.
The law of reciprocity. Reciprocity.
That's a big word.
Yeah.
Big word for a roofer.
Or the reciprocity. But I have to look that one up. But you guys Google search it after you watch our show here. But take a look at that and make sure you do that. So those are the kinds of things in life that make your business, your life better. Take the time. How is technology changing? I want to show your website a little bit too. We're going to get into the technology side of the world. How has technology changed the way things are done? Not just from a marketing perspective, because now everybody can market.
Sure.
So if you're not doing any marketing, you're not doing any social media, call me. I'll tell you what to do. It's free. I do this all the time as a reciprocity, as a golden rule, to say, here's what you should be doing. Do it yourself. I've done very well in life, ladies and gentlemen. You could go figure. I'm fortunate. I had a lot of good guidance when I was younger. Came out of a coma when they didn't expect me to be able to do anything, and I proved them wrong. We're here to help other people show off what they've done to make the world a better place too. But let's take this video, put it all over your social media and everything, because the people need to hear all the good things you're talking about, even if it's just for them to learn from you about how they should run their business, maybe, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Technology, though. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, websites. Hey, websites. So let's look at the website real quick. Is website one of the biggest things that people these days, did your grandfather have a website?
I don't think so. He, it's so funny. I talked to my grandfather, and he's like, have you looked at have you looked at the reports? Have you looked at the state reports? Have you looked at things you've been on? Are you watching the newspaper? My grandpa talks to me like it's like how it used to be, and I think it's great. We sit there and I entertain it because my grandfather's a little bit older, and it's great to sit there. But he's always asking, have you looked in the newspaper for jobs? And I never think of it because I do, like what you said, I use current technology. We have websites, Facebook, stuff like that. So as far as marketing and stuff, the website's important. Google searches are important. That's important. And make sure you use the right company for it too, because there's a lot of fly-by-night website guys too.
That's what I have to go out and fix for a lot of my buddies and clients.
There's a lot, and then technology too, not just with the marketing stuff, but man, what we use out in the field.
That's what I want to talk about.
Oh my goodness! So we have a way where we can go to a job site, and we can walk up, meet the client, shake hands. And then when we get up on the roof, we'll snap our pictures, anything that looks out of the norm that we might want to note for the project. And then we just go down and we take 8 photos of the house. And we'll say, hey, we'll get it back with an estimate to you. Gives you 24, 48 hours. We'll try to get something back to you. But those 8 pictures goes into a Hover app, and within 3 hours, we have every measurement of that home based off 8 pictures. It takes a satellite view of the top of the roof. It tells us linear footage of gutter lines, rakes, eaves, valleys. It tells you how much step flashing, how many box vents are on the house, pipe boots, how many linear feet of ridge vent. It tells us everything, and we of course we pay a fee for it, but it's absolutely worth the money. We go out there, we're able to take the pictures, and boom, there's our measurements within 3 or 4 hours. So technology is. It's awesome. And of course, AI, we don't really mess with AI. Maybe one day I'll get into it. AI kind of scares me a little bit.
I'll show you some AI stuff that you need to pay attention to. You want to talk about technology on that end, ladies and gentlemen. Artificial intelligence. I've been doing it for 15 years. They talk about stuff that autoresponder to your email is technically artificial intelligence.
Down at the roofing convention down in San Antonio, somebody pitched me on an AI answering our phone calls and having a full conversation with our clients calling in and setting roof appointments for us. Yep. That just blows my mind.
The technology's there because they can spoof anybody. It could be Donald Trump or Barack Obama answering the phone call if you wanted to. It sounds like
you can change their voice.
Because they've learned to pick up. It's so easy now with the technology. I mean, we're up for a big revolution here, everybody, with a lot of the technology change, especially the way the country's going with regard to technology. And stay on top of this. I'm going to give some more of my advice to Brandon about some emerging things. But anybody just talks to me, I'll share it to you for free. And then obviously we do a whole production company. I'm a marketing agency, and I love this TV show because now we get to really highlight those leaders who do want to go to the next level, and we can put you on TV for a half hour if I like you, if I think you're cool. And there's only so many people we can do that with, but there's hundreds of thousands of 40,000 small businesses estimated in the St. Louis area, and we only have 256 shows a year at this point. So get all of me, maybe we'll talk about putting you on the show. But with that in mind, the website. So somebody fills out this form on your website. What happens next, if you would?
So I'll get an email notification, a text notification. I have an office member. He'll get it as well. So as soon as we get that, we'll respond back via email or typically a phone call. I'm a big advocate as far as speaking to people over phone or in person versus. And then we'll do follow-up emails after the phone call. But we'll schedule an appointment. We'll come out. Whatever works best for the client, we'll come out. We'll look at it. We'll go through the process. Like I said, we'll take pictures. We'll get an estimate within 24, 48 hours. If it's an easy enough roof, we might give them a verbal kind of about a budgetary number or what they might maybe be looking for. After that, then of course we get the roof loaded, get it stocked, get contracts signed. We don't do anything without a contract. We present certificates of insurance. Of course, if the client would like to have our copies of insurance, we provide all that: workman's comp, general liability, all the stuff that everything you have to have being a general contractor or being a roofing contractor. We present all that. We sign a contract, get the roof loaded, and typically a 2,000 square foot roof we can get done in a day, in and out.
If you know what you're doing, you got systems in place to where you can efficiently produce things like roofs or TV shows. I'd be more impressed with a roof, actually. TV shows actually kind of easy if you know what you're doing. 5 cameras in here, all automated, all systematized. This is kind of a neat little setup, I think. Do you agree? This is kind of cool.
It's neat. I don't know where to look, so I'm just looking here because I got all these cameras in front of me. I'm just like, I'll just look here. Yeah, it is very cool.
If you look at a camera, they're like, "What are you looking?" Because you're looking right at somebody.
Yeah.
And people, why would you look right at me? Don't make eye contact with me, especially for our younger crowd. One of my business owner friends came on the show. He says, "You have to deal with everybody different generations. Some people want to sit down and have a half-hour discussion. That's your older generation, and they like to talk this out. Next generation, like they'll move and meet with you. That's our age, my age group. And the next age group, your age group, and they're like, oh, just kind of give it to me fast. And the new guys are like, don't look me in the eye. Yeah. Send me a text. And if I have to talk to you face to face, I'm gonna freak out. That's part of our off. I didn't say who said that. It wasn't me, but I kind of agree. But then in personal, like you wonder how much you're missing because like I want to look somebody in the eye and go, hey.
Yeah. I've got a little brother. I went downstairs and all of his buddies are sitting around in the room. They're all on couches. They're on their phones, not talking to each other. And I was like, "What are you guys doing? What are you guys talking to each other?" It's super weird to me, but I guess it's just the younger generation.
Well, and that is a good emphasis on how technology has changed our world and how do you deal with all generations up into, what do they even call it? X, Y, Z, millennials. How about these kids that are like, they were born in 2000. And now it's 2025, so they're 25 years old, and it's only been since 2000. Gosh, I remember 2000. I'm like, oh, the end of the world may be coming because of Y2K.
I remember that. I think I was 11, 10.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you still have to get everything done. So bottom line, there you go. All right, so technology, obviously something that impacts every business. Tell me the process a little bit. So we kind of went over that, but they're going to fill out the form. It's going to come into you, and then file. But they can call you directly, too.
Absolutely.
And so pick up that phone number, and it's the cell phone number right there. Yeah. And I talked to Brandon about other ways we can track that.
And a lot of times if we're inundated, because I'm the owner, but I'm still in the field, so I'm out there. So if you get a voicemail or something, obviously I answer a text too. You can get a hold of me. Be a little patient. Let me get back to you because we have a lot going on, especially during storm season. But we typically call back within an hour or two. We're very responsive. So.
Well, that's key. I do have a master's in media communication. And so I've learned that bottom line, and I've said this joke a couple of times, hey, all my buddies that we all graduated from St. Louis University together, remember when you were like, oh, he's got a degree in communications? That's a joke. So I made more money than most all you guys did because I happened to be lucky to get into a job at Anheuser-Busch where communication was key. And the email thing kicked in, right? Everybody had to do email. By the time I was there were email systems in place, but I was helping them upgrade the systems, and I built the systems. But communication is my point, is so critical. If you don't have that communication, I'm trying to emphasize his point, which was like, you can call his cell phone. You can call, but you're available. You'll find the answer. You'll have who's your assistant? What's his first name?
So Terry Russell. He
okay.
Yeah, I put that out there. I think he'd be happy with it.
Yeah,
yeah. He's our sales guy. He goes around. But Terry, he does a lot of the roof inspections for me if I'm not able to get to it. But Terry, yep.
Yeah, and it's good to have somebody to help you with this, not spread it out too thin. Use some of the technology stuff. I'm going to share with you a few other tips I've got for things. We talked a little bit about them. But man, small business owners, you guys are the bread and butter of America, and you do a better job than the guys that might be 2 or 3 notches ahead. You know, they're doing 100 million or 30 million. How about the guys that are doing 3 to 5 million, or even a $500,000 or whatever it might be?
Sure.
Because you're talking to the owner, who's also the operator. I tried to change it. There it is. See, so I said, are you the owner and operator? And like you were doing the operations, like not like a doctor or surgeon, but like you're an operator. You're in the field doing the work.
That's right.
That's important for people to understand.
Yeah, I do all my own invoicing. I have an office person as well that does a lot of invoicing. But man, I tell you what, it's a joy to just be out in the field with the clients, with the crews, and be involved, make sure things are going right. I really thrive in that situation. So I'm excited about expanding, but I'm also kind of dreading the day where I'm not out in the field as much, because I know that's kind of where I really like to be.
Well, the good news is you'll be able to train whoever goes out there personally, right? And until you get to the level where you got 50 guys out there, maybe you'll get to that level. Maybe you don't want to go to that level.
Sure.
But I can tell you it's kind of neat, and that's why I like to emphasize. I'm here for the small business, everybody, if you want to know the truth. And I've got some big sponsors that are pretty good-sized business, but I don't have any national sponsors. Maybe I'll never get them after I said that, right? But hey, we all have our place. And I'm just proud to be able to help the small business owners, because you guys literally put on the line. Your reputation is at stake for every job that you have, every job that you do. And it's just critical for people to, I think, work with the smaller business owners, because you're talking to the owner, or one step down from the owner, who the owner trained personally when this was all getting set up. All right, well, tell me then, what is, if you had to name one challenge that you've had over the time that you've now had your own company, or even a challenge you might have run into in the past to help make you who you are today, what would you say that one challenge might be?
Oh gosh, I think there's probably as far as business is concerned, you know, when I quit traveling and I want to come home and start a business, getting your name out there is tough. Gentes was a little easier because I was already a recognized name for my grandparents' business, and so that was a little easier for Gentes. But BG Renovations is the other company. When I first got home, getting my name out there and winning bids and stuff, because I wasn't really well known, so that was tough, I guess. And the way to beat that is just perseverance. Just don't stop, don't give up, just keep going. Try to go out to the events, try to continue to shake hands, try to get your name out there. So we overcame that. There was a lot of times that I was just down, like, gosh, man, I'm looking for work. Where's my next dollar going to come from? You know, and just stay positive, chin up. I believe in God, so pray. I mean, that's important. But just perseverance, man. Just stick with it. So
yeah, that's one of the best.
I would say that.
That's one of my favorites. Write that one down, everybody. There's an image that I have instilled in my mind where they just drew a cartoon character version of this. But there's 2 guys, and they show them, and they're chipping away at the mine. And you can see in the mine picture, there's the gold is right over here. And these 2 guys are just chipping away. And the one guy's at the bottom, he just sits down, throws his pick on the ground, and he gave up. And the other guy's just still going at it. They're both 2 more cracks at it before they're going to get through the wall and get the gold on the other side. And how many times in life do we have a situation where it was tough, it was difficult, it was frustrating, you had to work with a lot of problems and overcome a lot, and you didn't know if you'd just kept going another day, another week, another month,
right,
you would have got to the other side, and then the gold is there for you to help other people with and contribute back and share some of your wealth and knowledge and fortune. And that's a better place. All right, we went over a little bit with that right here, everybody, but I appreciate you guys staying tuned to your little castle show. We'll talk soon. Giddy up.